absolute madness after the market closed today. I don't know if you guys were paying attention or not, but Facebook reported earnings more than 22% down after hours right now. And Facebook is pulling a ton of companies down with it. 22% drop for Facebook. We all know what happened to PayPal, down 20% as well. But Facebook is pulling Snapchat down, Pinterest. So I want to talk about those three stocks. And I also want to talk about another potential metaverse play, since we're talking about Meta and Facebook. We're going to talk about Matterport as well, which I think is at a fantastic buying price right now. But the market's crazy. Stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to TipRanks. I'm Richard Allen. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. My goodness, Facebook reported earnings and their stock absolutely got obliterated. 22.6% down right now as of recording this video. What happened? We're going to talk about that in this video. We're also going to talk about a couple other stocks that are heavily relying on advertising revenue, very similar to Facebook's revenue. That's why Facebook is down. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Snapchat and Pinterest as well. And then because we're talking about Facebook and the metaverse, we're going to talk about Matterport, which is a 3D imaging company that is really the only game in town, has a ton of users, ton of revenue, but was also down after hours today as well. Craziness going on with all of these companies. But let's talk about what happened with Facebook, okay? Daily active users missed expectations. Monthly active users missed expectations. EPS, they missed expectations. Revenue, they barely hit expectations for revenue. But their guidance going forward, their guidance for Q1 is now growing the company for revenue by 3% to 11%. 3% growth for Facebook is crazy. Is crazy. And they're blaming Apple with their new ad targeting thing, privacy stuff. They're blaming, not by name, but they're blaming things like TikTok and attention, people's attention, and essentially that they aren't capturing the younger user, and that things like Reels on Instagram is capturing the attention of people, but not the more longer form feed type content that we see like with these videos or stories or things like that. So there's a lot of stuff going on with Facebook that people are pivoting away from Facebook. Another thing, speaking of the metaverse, they're losing right now about $10 billion. That's what they lost last year so far. That's what they've spent and lost on creating the metaverse. They've actually hired think tanks to try to sell consumers and companies on the idea of the metaverse as well. So they're really working on this metaverse thing. But if it works out, it could be a big, big deal for Facebook over the course of the long haul. Huge, huge deal. But I really want to talk about these other two companies in the same space as Facebook, because Snapchat and Pinterest are down as well. Now, Facebook could see a bounce as well, but this market is bonkers. This market is bonkers. The major indices actually had an up day today. And the NASDAQ finished up the past 4 trading days. That's really good to see. And it hasn't been crazy exuberance that we've seen in the market. But this volatility for Facebook is crazy. We're still seeing a strong buy based on 14 analyst ratings with an average upside of 26%. That's before the 20% fall. I assume we're going to see some new price targets and some reiterations. So look for that for Facebook on TipRanks.com to see what the analysts say about these earnings, okay? But let's jump over. Let's talk about Snapchat right now. Snapchat, after hours, down 18% after having a very rough day, down 4.72% during normal trading, down an additional 18% after hours. Very similar business model to Facebook, though. They rely heavily on advertising revenue. They've struggled with the Apple iOS changes with privacy. So people are expecting that Snapchat will have some sort of similar expectation and guidance going forward when they report. But because Snapchat hasn't reported yet, and the crazy volatility in the market, there's a chance that Snapchat pops on this big fall over the course of the next few days to week. Okay, so if you're into that sort of thing, trying to time the market, I'm not trying to do that as much as I used to. I'm not. I don't want to feel the stress. But if you're into that sort of thing, something could happen with Snapchat. But just know this market is absolutely crazy. Moderate buy here, 19 analyst ratings, with an average upside of almost 80%, not including this 18% drop. So 80% potentially. But again, I expect some reiterations, some new price targets for Snapchat as well, taking into account this terrible quarter that Facebook just guided going forward. Absolutely bonkers. Pinterest, another one, down 9% during normal trading, down an additional 10% after hours. Very similar business model. It's a social network. Very, very different from Facebook, but this stock has performed tremendously well over the past several years because of increased advertising revenue. Struggling right now. Again, another moderate buy based on 22 analyst ratings with an average upside of 72% over the next 12 months. Again, Pinterest could pop as well. I don't know. But it's risky. Right now, the market is absolutely bonkers. But it was crazy to see all the companies that Facebook pulled down, Meta pulled down with it. So, all right, last company I want to talk about is Matterport. It's a 3D imaging company. If you've looked at homes recently, if you see those 3D scans of a home online on Zillow or Redfin or wherever you're looking, that is a Matterport camera that does that technology. But the idea right now with Matterport and the metaverse is that companies can use a Matterport camera to take a 3D digital twin. This is something that NVIDIA is talking about. They can take a 3D digital twin with this Matterport camera and then plop that digital twin of their factory or building or whatever into the metaverse somewhere online and run different simulations and different things like that to see how the equipment is going to perform, see how things are going to run in a simulation before they decide to work it in real world. So this technology with Matterport, it will change the world, and it currently is changing the world. This stock was a SPAC last year. It is now trading at around $8 per share. It has had some volatility as of late, but we're looking after this fall at about a 235% upside based on what a lot of these analysts that are 5-star analysts think. Okay, we have John Walsh here from Credit Suisse giving this a $31 price target, almost a 300% upside. Now, Matterport is reporting. I thought they were reporting today, but I haven't seen their report as of recording this video. If I see something different over the next couple hours, I'll let you guys know tomorrow about Matterport earnings. But this is a potential play for the long term. Long term, okay? Over the next 12 months, I know they're saying 235, 250%, 300% upside for this stock. But I think this company is going to change the world or get bought out by a much bigger company that wants their patents and wants their data. I really do. I think this company is part of the future, especially when it comes to the metaverse. And we've talked about it on this channel before too. So guys, thank you so much for joining me for another video and going through the craziness with us here on TipRanks. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you so much. If you learned something new or found any value in this video at all, let me know by hitting that like button and that subscribe button down below. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.